Hi, welcome to this week's Sim Racing News Roundup, and we're going to kick things off with Gran Turismo 7. Now, if you've watched my video on the 1.15 update for Gran Turismo 7, you will already have seen this, which is basically the news that PD have managed to screw up some of the force feedback profiles. Basically, they have an issue where certain combinations of wheels and vehicles would cause extremely strong force feedback and hurt people. So what they've done is nerfed the force feedback and torque applied to three wheels. The Thrustmaster TGT, Fanatec Podium and Fanatec GTDD Pro, which is just odd. No other sims had this kind of issue. They always fix the vehicles, not nerf the wheels, but there we go. It's Polyphony Digital, so you don't expect them to take a sensible course, do you? So hopefully we'll see a tweak or a patch for that in the near future, but it's been a while already, so we'll see what happens. Moving on then to Automobilista 2, and we've got the new release candidate out. Keep in mind this is not a full update, this is an optional update that you opt into, and basically they've been further rolling out bug fixes and the extended physics development. So the physics developments go to a wider range of cars now, so the Formula V12, Formula V10, that's both groups of Formula V10, Formula Razor, Group C, GT5 and G40 Cup are now all running the current generation physics, and there's been an update for the Super V8s as well, so all good stuff on that. We've then had a lot of news out of Rennsport. If you may... I'll try that again. If you remember from last week's roundup, Rennsport were holding a forum over the weekend, and basically that's happened, and we've got a lot of news has come out of that. So basically it's not all going to be around GT3s, there's going to be other cars coming in it. PC is the platform. It's going to run Unreal Engine 5 but with a customs physics engine underneath it, so think Assetto Corsa Competizione in that regard. Current build features Hockenheim and Goodwood Hill Climb, which is an unusual one, but again a nice sign that it's not just going to be focused around GT3 cars. There's a few things that are still up in the air around it. Is it going to have NFTs in it? There's something very weird about cars having unique VIN numbers, and you'll then be able to sell them as a car with a racing history, so we'll have to see what happens with regard to that. But Gran Turismo Planet put out a good news article on it, and I'll link to that down below, so take a look at that. In more forthcoming releases, F1 22 has had its gameplay features trailer released, which covers everything that's coming in F1 22. So it talks about the all-new cars, the physics updates, circuit updates, when it launches, the fact that it's going to have sprint races, it's got the F1 life and all of that kind of stuff in there. So 2 minutes and 11 seconds of your life by clicking on the link down below, and you'll be able to see everything that's included in F1 22. On to the last couple of bits, and KartKraft even have pushed out another piece of news, which is effectively exactly the same as the piece of news that they pushed out last week, which last month, which is we haven't forgotten about the game. We are still working on top content and we'll bring it to you soon, which is kind of a holding pattern of there is no news, which is not a big surprise because, being perfectly honest, I really like KartCraft, but blatantly motorsport games force them to push this title out far too early. It still needs a hell of a lot of work, and it is not a full release title. I mean, it's got an in-game economy that is arguably even more broken than Gran Turismo 7's in-game economy for completely the opposite reason. It gives you some money and you can't really buy anything with it, and even when you do buy stuff with it, your money doesn't decrease. And it pretty much doesn't do anything either. So yeah, and that's in a full release title, so I desperately want this to be good, but it's just more motorsport games. speaking of which, rounding off this week, we have finally got some news for the BTCC game coming from Motorsport Games. Now, keep in mind that when this was originally announced 2 years ago, its release window was 2022. Which is this year, and we're halfway through 2022, and we finally have some news as to when the official BTCC game from Motorsport Games will be being released, and that's in 2024. So they've waited 2.5 years to tell us it's going to be coming in another 2 years. But fear not, there's a promotional plan coming for it, in which they will be touring around a load of events, mainly BTCC races, allowing you to sample BTCC cars in R-Factor 2. Not the upcoming BTCC title, R-Factor 2. And people in the comments of my videos have genuinely questioned whether I'm being unnecessarily harsh to Motorsport Games. No, I'm not. I love R-Factor 2. I love KartCraft. I don't love NASCAR Ignition, and that was the last title they put out in their own Steam, because it was shite, quite frankly. Motorsport Games... everything about them reeks of some sort of weird investment scam. It really does. You know, you announce a title 2.5 years ago, you say nothing about it, and then you just go, nah, it's not coming for another 2 years, and we're going to do a promotional tour which shows you a different game. If that doesn't smell a bit rotten and odd to you, well, you're a more optimistic sort than I am, being perfectly honest. So there we go. On that clearly biased and cynical note, I sign off this week's sim racing news for you. It's been a long bank holiday weekend and week here in the UK, so I've not had a chance to play around with any mods. So the content you've been looking at is just me messing around on Automobilista 2, looking at the new release candidate. So hopefully that will keep you happy. But there we go. If you've enjoyed the video, if you found it useful, please do hit the like button. And if you want to see more content like this, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when new videos get uploaded. Thanks very much, everyone. Take care. Bye.